Here we go. Dr. D Nice at her best. Don't give up, guys. Do not give up. If you are trying to lose weight, don't wait to do any project and don't give up on yourself. That's what we're talking about today. What are you waiting for? Sometimes you decide that, you know what? I need to lose weight before I can hike up that mountain, before I could run that marathon, before I could enter that beauty pageant, before I could talk to somebody, this guy that I like, this girl that I like. I really need to lose weight before I ... fill in the blank. Today, we're going to talk about why you feel that way and what you need to do about it, okay? Let's get into it right now. This is a subject that Dr. D Nice is all too familiar with. And here we go. We're starting off. Why wait? Why wait? Here's one of the reasons why people choose to wait, because they feel that they're too heavy, too overweight to do anything. You assume you have time. Listen, right now, this is the body you have. Yes, it may be a little fluffy. It may be a bit out of shape. You may not have that 6-pack, that 9-pack, 12-pack, whatever pack, your quads are not like popping out of your jeans. You are not considered the most beautiful person on the planet. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to wait until I look better, until I feel better before I do something. How do you know you have time? Tomorrow is not promised. I know you've heard that before. Tomorrow is not promised. You've heard it. And it's true. You're making the assumption that you're going to go to bed and you're going to wake up just like you did the day before. Things can happen. You've heard so many stories about people, they end up in an accident, or they move unexpectedly. Yeah, you wanted to talk to that girl, and all of a sudden your parents come home and say, hey, guess what, son? We're moving to California, and you live in North Carolina. You never have that opportunity. You do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I'm not talking YOLO, you only live once. I'm not talking YOLO type stuff. No, I'm talking things that you should be doing, things that you feel drawn to do, that you decide, no, I'm not going to do it because I'm too heavy. No, you don't have time. How do you know that? You don't have time. You've heard stories, too many stories, about people who have missed out on opportunities because they thought they had time and it didn't. The next day they end up with some illness, something like that. You assume you must, you assume you will be judged. You assume you'll be judged because you are bigger, or you're not as in shape, or you don't look like the other person. You assume that people are going to judge you. The first thing that they're going to look at is, what they doing here? How they trying out for soccer? They big as I don't know what. Big people can run? You can. It happens. You can run. You can do things. Don't let the fact that people may judge you, because the truth is maybe they will. It is going to be up to you to prove them wrong. And I'm not saying you go around your whole entire life trying to prove the haters wrong. Then you end up on the offense of life. on the defense rather of life. You want to be on the offense. You know this is something that you can do. This is something that you've always aspired to do. You know this is one of your dreams. Get it done. Don't worry about people judging you. You won't know unless you try it. What are you going to wait? You're going to wait until you're like 50, 60 and wondering what if, or start telling those creepy, horrible, like cringy stories. Oh, when I was young, I was going to play football. When I was young, I was going to do gymnastics, but you hear those people's stories and it always sounds cringy and creepy about like, so why don't you just do it? Why are you still talking about it? Wasn't that like 50 years ago? You ain't let that go? You don't want to be one of those people. Don't worry about people judging you because of how you look. Get in there and do it. You don't know until you try it. You may be good in your house and nobody knows because you're afraid that people will judge you. That's one of the reasons why many people that are overweight are afraid to try things. The last one is you assume you have to be perfect first. Listen, here's the honest truth of it all. We are all working on something. Yes, yours is weight, and I am not a fat positivity person whatsoever, even though I have a few pounds to lose. And we're going to talk about that next week because at the different phases of life, your body is doing different things. And I want you all to understand what's happening to you right now in regards to your metabolism, in regards to how your body works, and what will happen later if you don't fortify yourself properly. We'll talk about that next week. But for right now, listen, you do not have to be perfect first. Fat positivity, I'm not into that. I do expect, though, like, who are you, Dr. Tydai, to expect something of me? Well, you should actually expect it of yourself to be working towards perfection. Yes, weight may be the thing that you're dealing with. The other person that's super in shape, super athletic, there are other things that they're working with too. Maybe they're always late. Maybe they have no discipline. Those are things that they need to work on too. That's going to prevent them from excelling. You got discipline. You're always on time. You know how to follow directions. You're amazing teammate. Those are not things that you could lose some pounds and all of a sudden you're the best. Those are things that are hard to work on. You're already ahead of the game. Just this one thing does not make you imperfect, does not disqualify you. You don't have to be perfect before you start. Get in there. Run that race. Try out for that team. Try out for the cheerleading. I mean, fat people can do a split. You can do a cartwheel. And who knows, the more that you're out there, sometimes you have gained weight because of inactivity. The more that you're out there, you'll notice that you may end up losing some weight and being in shape. You just never know. Like I said, we'll talk more about the whole weight loss process next week. But do not let your weight, your size, prevent you from trying things that you want to try. Now, let's be honest. Let me just not. Let me be clear. There are going to be some things that, because of your weight, you just can't do. There are weight limits to things. There are criteria where you have to be at a certain criteria to join weight classes. There are things like boxing and wrestling. They have weight classes. Things like modeling, they have certain weight classes, some sort of weight class. You don't know, though. Maybe the year that you start is the year, because listen, there was a time before they were not using bigger models. Now you could get up in there and be a model because they're using people that are not the standard cookie cutter. You just never know. Throw your hat in the ring and work while you're working on your health. That's what I have for you today. And then I told you all I have a big announcement. I was inspired to do this video because of something absolutely special. I You're Dr. D Nice, the happiest doctor on the planet. I have decided to throw my own hat in the ring. See, I'm living, I'm talking, I'm saying it, but I'm also doing it in my own life. I have decided to throw my hat in the ring and run for Mrs. the married woman, Mrs. North Carolina. Let me show y'all my sash. It's so cool. Here it is. You have to see it. There it is right here. I'm representing Raleigh in the Mrs. North Carolina pageant. Let me put my sash on so y'all can see it. Yeah, it's so cool. And, you know, you may be like, well, Dr. D Nice, you're not a tall, skinny, blonde model. No, I'm not. Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to wait for these things. Right now, with the Mrs. North Carolina pageant, I don't know if you, let me see, back up so you can see it. Can you see it? Do my model stance for you all. Listen, right now, one of the things that they really look at is your platform. I do a lot working with schools and your ability to promote the pageant. And listen, I don't know. You never know. I may win. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Then I'll be Dr. D Nice and Queen D Nice, or what would I be? Mrs. North Carolina. Imagine that. Then I think the final pageant that happened in what's that place called? Las Vegas? Yeah, in Las Vegas. The one in Las Vegas is actually televised. You may even see me. Well, that is my big news for you. Let me back up and model again for you all. I will tell you all how you can support me. As it gets closer, there's a People's Choice Award where you can actually call in and vote for your favorite. I'll keep you all posted. And if you follow me on Instagram, Dr. D Nice, you can see my journey as I go through the Mrs. North Carolina pageant. Thank you all again for this opportunity. I really appreciate you all. And don't wait. You don't have to wait till you're a certain size to really work on something that you'd love to work on.